Hey guys, it's Brittany and Jen here with Ambition After Hours, and things look a little bit different today. We are at the Downtown Library in Edmonton, Alberta, and we're using one of their podcast rooms, which is great. But we do have a guest today, and that's why there is three of us. We are joined here by executive coach Jessica Derksen, and she's been a longtime friend and coach of mine and Jen's too. So, tell everyone who you are. I know who you are. They don't.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Derksen. I'm the founder of Habitual Professional Development, and I do life and executive coaching. I'm a professional coach. I work with people to really help them with their accountability, achieve their goals, and focus on the long wins and not always just that end result, but really how can they make lifestyle changes for any area of their life.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you've helped me with lifestyle changes. You probably...
And me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
and you.
and me.
So, proof is in the pudding. We do some great things. No, but I thought this came full circle because you were the last one on our season finale to lead us, into the new season. We have some questions that you asked that we need to answer, but it wouldn't be Ambition After Hours if we didn't kick things off with a high and a low. So, Jen.
My high is that I'm hanging out with the girls today. So I am not, it's a Friday. We usually film these, tape these on the weekends. So today I chose the priority of hanging out with you guys, doing Ambition After Hours, and playing hooky on my 9 to 5. So it's a great way to spend a Friday. Pretty excited about it.
Yeah, of course. And what about you?
I'm stealing that. Same high. I was so excited just to be here, invited to be on the podcast with both of you. You know I love you both. You're friends of mine. So to be like worming my way into it, I'm just so excited to hang out with you.
You're part of the twosome now. We're now a
Yeah.
threesome. And I think like my high obviously is to have our very first official guest, and I'm so glad it's you because we've worked together. I know the power of executive coaching, and we just want to share it with all of our listeners. So thank you for being with us today, of course. And we're going to learn some really great things. But it is Jen's favorite time of the podcast where, she's a little clams. She likes to just keep her feelings to herself. But let's talk about a low, Jen.
Brittany was asking me this on the drive over if I was prepared for this. And I had said no. And she said, I sent you the outline. So here we go. I think that my low is the time of year. Don't get me wrong. I love, all the busyness that can come with the holidays. But I am an introvert by nature, and I don't think I have very much extrovert left. And we're only done the first week of December. So, I'm running out of extrovert.
No, that's fair. It is a busy time of year. Like I was telling you, I feel like it is my Super Bowl right now. Like, the next 3 weeks is crazy. I think I have, an event every day. And I'm like, oh, Jess is here. So she's going to be like, give yourself grace. She's going to give us some tips.
Be kind to yourself.
Yeah, be kind to yourself. So I totally get where you're coming from on that.
Thanks.
Yeah, what about you, Jessica? What's a low?
Mine is very personal, and it just happened to me this morning.
Okay.
So I just bought a new house, moved in, love it. It's so cute and sweet. And this whole week it's caused me nothing but problems. So alarm issue problems, CO problems. So that's just a low. It's just been a headache, stressing me out. I'm tired. My alarm went off at 4 a.m. this morning. I was kicked out of my house. So
God.
There's my low. But I'm here and I'm happy, so it's better now.
But you know what? Yeah. Move on. We'll get it fixed.
Yeah.
And then your house will be back to the cute little place it is.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
mindset shift.
Yeah. My low, I think, is brain fog. Coming off of that gallbladder surgery I had, I feel like it's slowly coming back, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I'm low on vitamins or whatever. So I'll get that figured out. And I've been having this reoccurring dream, and I think it's just because it's a stressful, busy season for me. But this has happened for a week straight now, where I will go to sleep, and I will pick up in a dream where I'm going to like a second job where I'm like putting on like a blue apron and I'm like, okay, off to my second job. And I'm like fully aware, like I just went to sleep, but now I'm going to work. It's so bizarre. I don't know what I watched on the internet or
Interesting.
but I'm like, this dream world like is not doing me any favors. So I would love to stop having that dream too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds tiresome. To go to sleep only to start another job.
I'm
You need
exhausted.
to stop working.
Yeah.
Start working.
I'm so exhausted. No, yeah, it's super weird. So if I could get rid of this brain fog and like, move on a little bit, that would be excellent. But let's roll into what we got today.
So we can start with the questions that Jess asked us at our season finale.
Okay,
that
they
we
were
have
very
not-
heavy.
They were heavy.
I've been waiting forever.
Well, we had to think for the better part of
4 months.
4 months to figure out what the answer was going to be.
Oh my God. Okay, so why don't you tell us the first question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Who did you need to become to build the business or the career that you have today?
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I prepared for this, Brittany.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there are 2 things that I had to become. One is I had to get a thicker skin. I had to become tough. I think when you run your own business, sometimes team members leave you, sometimes clients leave you, sometimes you have to get up and push through when things are hard. So I definitely had to get a thicker skin real quick. And I think the other thing that I had to learn really quick is confidence. And that was definitely a fake it till you make it for me. As I just mentioned, extroversion is not really my strong suit. So yeah, I think I had to learn confidence and faked confidence. And I also think I had to get a bit of a thicker skin.
I created like a whole list.
Oh, good for you.
Mainly, I just used this question as like a journaling piece, I think, which is like, but I wrote it all down. So I needed to become someone that didn't take no for an answer.
Ooh.
Good one.
Because sometimes you are faced with no a lot when you're trying to build a business,
So
right?
true.
I had to become someone that pushed themselves to show up even when things were hard.
Yep.
Like when, I talked about this during my talk at JB Ventures, like when you're lost in the sauce and like the world feels like it's crumbling around you, but no one, like you can't lean on anyone but yourself. Like you have to show up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And then I needed to become someone that believed that she could do it.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you do face that doubt as an entrepreneur or, in a career where you're like, can I actually do this? Can I actually pull it off? And I feel like having that trust and even like the confidence that you said, like having confidence in yourself is so important if you're going to make it through.
100%.
And lastly, I had to trust that I like needed to become brave and driven and self-motivating. And I think like I'm still becoming all of these things, like even 10 years into having a business, like you are still doing it. It's just with different things.
Oh,
You're
for sure.
evolving all the time.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's like the human thing. Like if you're not evolving, you're not learning, then you're probably dead. But, and that's like, I think there's like a lot of things you're always constantly becoming or pushing yourself for.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So I'm curious of what would happen if you did get a no. How would you show up?
Well, I think it just goes back to like, even when things aren't going your way, you have to show up for yourself because that's the only way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like over the last 10 years, I've got a lot of no's, of course. Right? But you still show up on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Also, we are here to ask you questions.
Yeah,
today.
whoa.
Always the deep questions with her.
Seriously.
Sorry, I'll stop.
Oh my God. Okay. So,
Can't listen.
what about you, Jess?
Who did I need to become?
Yeah.
I think really similar, right? It's just this person with resiliency. So I had to become there's a no, but that's just a crossroad. How do you look at it? How do you observe it? It's just information that I could take and decide, how do I need to change? Do I need to change what I'm doing? Do I need to change my approach? Do I need to change how I'm connecting with people?
Right.
So just the resilience, the confidence piece. I don't think we're born with confidence. It's something that we build throughout the years, right? And we learn. It's a skill. So that I remember like the first networking event I ever went into, and I was just like terrified. Like I think I was just shaking the whole time, and it was so awkward. And like very soon after I started my business, I met you at a networking event, and I was just like so scared. And it was such a small group, and I was like, oh my gosh, like imposter syndrome, right? So the fake it till you make it. So all of those things, and I would assume, and maybe it's bad on me to assume, but most people starting a business feel that. Or show up that way, right?
Yeah.
It's always like fake it till you make
career
it.
or
for
whatever.
sure. Yeah.
A promotion to a bigger role.
Yeah. Nope. See, we're just flying by the seat of our pants here.
There you go.
You know. Okay, let's do question 2.
Question 2. What does success really mean to you now versus what it meant to you when you first started?
Oh my God, this was such an eye opener for me. Do you want to go first? Okay, I'll go first.
No, because you're always the overachiever, so you can start with your well-prepared list.
Yeah. Oh my God, she's calling me out. So it was funny that I put like success before meant like a big empire, big money, everything grand. To be fair, I was like 26 when I started my business, right? So, and did I know the concept of like running a business at that point? Probably not, right? But now success looks like, does the work I'm doing fill my cup? Right? Yeah. Like, am I helping and employing and motivating females? Am I doing what I love? Can I do what I love with my friends or while I travel? You know, like, is it flexible to my lifestyle? Maybe I still want big, grand things, just like it's different now. Like maybe I want big impact, big love, big laughter, big life.
Yeah, I
you
love
know?
that.
So I think that's how it shifted for me. It was so funny that like when I started my business, everything was like so, what's the word? Like tangible. Like I wanted tangible things. Like to see the big empire and to see the big money. But now I want like big feelings. It's so weird.
Growth.
Yeah. Maturity.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not 26 anymore.
You're not? You look it.
20. Forever 20.
Come back anytime.
Yeah. You're welcome back anytime. Jen, what about you?
Yeah, so I think it's very similar. So when I started Colby Steckley way back in the day, I had one client, and one client does not the bills pay. Yeah. So for a good chunk of time, it was about getting to a point where I could make big moves in the business from a financial perspective. We could get a bigger space. I could pay myself the same amount every month on a regular and consistent basis, and it could cover all my bills. We could buy new equipment. We could upgrade our software. So for me, success looked like having the freedom to be able to grow at a fast pace. And now I think the success that I'm striving for looks a little bit more like fulfillment, a little bit more like peace, a little bit more like enjoyment, and a lot like having a role where I get a seat at the table for other female entrepreneurs and other female corporate workers who just, aren't getting the opportunities that they should be. So I think that is the success that I'm striving for now.
Nice. That's great.
We align.
Yeah, we're so cute.
Funny
like that.
how that works, right? That's great though, because I think, the big, the grand is like, what everyone thinks about when they think, you own a business. But it's funny how you just like mature in your role, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to mature. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
Up until now.
Up until now. No one knows that. They're like, what? Is this an inside joke?
It is, but maybe we'll hear about it today.
Yeah. So, what about you?
Yeah, I think, and this is, a little embarrassing as a coach, because people, for the most part, get into coaching to impact lives, right? They want to help people. Course. But I think, I would look at success as a monetary, like, what's my revenue? How much am I making? And I think when I started my business, it was very much, I had to prove a point. Like, there were so many people that are like, you can't do this. You're not going to make money off of it. So it was like, I'm just trying to prove a point and make enough money, hit these targets, and that was kind of it.
Yeah.
go, get in front of as many people as I can. And now it's somewhat peace. Like, that's a word I think about all the time. Peace, impact, like, what's the impact I really want to make with people? And so that also gives me the flexibility to think, who are the type of people I really want to work with?
Right.
So, yeah, just this feeling of like, is what I want to think. And I know business is going to be hard and it's not going to always be peaceful.
It's not always going to be.
But I want to think of like, at the end of the day, do I feel good about what I did? And it wasn't just like focus on making money.
Right. Which, I mean, I think that's like what we all said, right?
Yeah.
Like, are we making that impact? Which is probably why we're all friends, to be honest.
You know, for the newer business owners that listen to our podcast, I would challenge you to incorporate that into your what early success looks like. Because I was just thinking as you were talking, imagine if I remembered or really reminded myself on a daily basis of the impact I was having early on. It probably would have made it a bit easier to weather some of the financial strain and some of the hours, the 80-hour weeks that were required and all of that, if I also remembered to think about the impact that I was having even then. So if you're new and you're doing those 80-hour weeks and the financial is really what success looks like, maybe just try thinking like, hey, who did I impact positively this week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good.
I was at a meeting earlier this week and we were talking about like a little bit different of a topic, but they were like, you know, like when people think about you when you're no longer around, they never say like, wow, what a huge business they built. Look at all the money they had in their bank account. And it's always like, no, like it's how you made them feel and what a difference you made. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think like all it comes down to that when you're human, right? Like look at us, we were talking about how big moves you can make when you started your practice, right? Or, you know, I wanted the big agency and, you know, now it's totally different. Mm-hmm. And I think that just comes with like humanizing yourself as an entrepreneur.
It's like the legacy piece, right? Like what kind of legacy do you want to leave? And I always think of, again, like how, like legacy in terms of how do you want people to remember you?
Right.
How do you want like the feeling you gave them, the impact you made in their life, the support?
Yeah.
I think the other message here too is that I heard us all use the word prove when we were talking about initial success. I think that's a very female specific success indicator. If you were to have 3 men who just started businesses, I think the confidence factor would be different. I don't think it would be as much about proving yourself. So if you're listening, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Success is whatever you make it. And I think this innate need that we have to prove, to one up, to do all the things, just show yourself some grace because it's not about anybody else but you.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, mic drop on that one. That was a great delivery. But today we're not talking about what that success looks like, but rather New Year's and New Year's resolutions. So
statistically speaking, people have given up on their New Year's resolutions by January 14th. And then immediately following that week, they get their credit card bills. It's called Blue Monday. So 14 days, that seems so short to me, but I can think of many a resolution where I was like, that's legit what happened.
Yeah, I think I've made a list for a little bit later that has all the silly resolutions that I've never followed through on. But let's...
So we're going to talk about resiliency. Jess is going to help us get through, if we've given up by January 14th, what's next? And also like maybe some tips on how to kind of just carry through with the things that we want in our lives in a little bit more of a consistent fashion. So we're going to talk about resiliency. And
resolutions.
Are you ready to jump into it, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So obviously we have Jess with us today, but can you just tell everyone like how you found yourself in executive coaching?
Yeah, I mean, a really interesting story, I guess, or evolution of my business.
Yeah,
I started in 2018 and I was certified as a health and a life coach, and I worked mainly with women around weight loss. And as I started coaching them, I really started to realize, like, it was never about losing weight, right? Like, you talk to these women and ask them a lot of questions, and it's always something deeper. They wanted connection with their partner. They wanted to feel attractive to their partner. They wanted to look good or feel good about who they are or get a promotion. Like, it was never about the weight loss. It was usually, like, that confidence piece. Yeah. And just through networking and a lot of connections I made through Edmonton, I started working with other companies who would contract coaches. And so they would contract me to go and coach more corporate clients. And so in that process, I was asked to go back and get an executive coaching certification. And I did, which I now do work with that company. And I'm just like so involved in the coaching world. I love it. I get to facilitate part of it. I get to coach people. And that's how I really got into the executive space, was just through networking and conversation with people.
So it sounds like to me that you have crossed paths with like many different personality types and worked with many, entrepreneurs and just people in general. So why do you think it is that people start these resolutions, but they might have the best intentions, but then they kind of lose steam?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and for anybody, whether you're an executive, not, like whoever you are, I, in my opinion, think that resolutions are like the new year. Like, let's call it, everyone has like this motivational spike, right? It's a new year, a fresh start. The calendar, it's like a clean slate. So everyone comes with this extra motivation. They think, this is the day. Like, I get to start fresh today, which sounds a little crazy when you really think about it. But anyway, and so people create these resolutions based on high emotion. And they don't really think about the structure. There's no structure in place. So it's like, I want to lose weight. I want to make this much revenue this year. I want to do this with my team. I want all these things. I'm going to do it because they have like this emotion and there's like very tied to it. But then there's no structure. And so without that structure, the motivation dies and then the resolutions don't happen.
Right. And I mean, that makes sense, right? So from like, I guess your coaching perspective, what's the biggest mindset trap that these people experience in like derailing their goals?
Yeah, I love this question because I see it all the time, and I am guilty of this as well. And the biggest mindset trap I'll say is that all or nothing mentality, right?
Ooh,
it's
okay.
like all or it's nothing. It's like I have to go 100 or I go 0. And so this all or nothing mentality says,
This is me.
yes.
I was gonna say, but that's what I'm best at. I practice it every day.
I would not say I agree with that, but no, but it's true though. We all are guilty of this, whether it's in all areas of our lives or just like some form of our lives. But it's, I have to start flawlessly. Like if I don't go all in today, I might as well just, can I swear on the podcast?
Oh,
Yeah.
for
Okay,
sure.
it's like, fuck it, right? It's like, okay, I didn't do the thing I said I was going to do. Fuck it, I'm done. Oftentimes it's like, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start Monday, I'll start next month, I'll start next year. And now it's like a year later and you're reflecting back and you're like, shit, like I didn't even do the thing I said I was going to do last January. And now it's another January. And I'm still in the exact same place I am because of this thought. If I don't do it all, I'm not going to do anything. When that doesn't have to be the truth, right? That doesn't have to be the case. Like, I don't even know why we wait till January 1st. Like, most people are thinking about the resolutions in November. Like, November, December, they're already thinking about, come January, this is what I'm going to do. Everything's going to change. It's going to be great. Well, why not start today? What about today is holding you back?
Yeah.
For me, this looks a lot like negative self-talk. Like, I can't really be the kind of person that just says, fuck it, I'm going to do nothing because I don't know how to do nothing or sit still or speak at a slow pace, as you all know. But for me, this is when I do the thing in a small way. So, like, for example, I'm working on moving every day. If I'm not killing myself, then immediately after I think, oh, well, you just did this, so who cares? Like, anyone could do that. Why is that so cool? So for me, I think that feeds into the all or nothing. Like, that's how I hear it. And like, you and I are actually working on that. But the more you do that with this, like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, that's how I experience it. Then the less I want to do it because you don't get that hit of like accomplishment. And I, forever in my life, am searching for a feeling of accomplishment.
But that goes back to like the system, right? Like, if you can agree ahead of time, like pre-plan what you're doing and decide what's the bare minimum I have to do to feel like this was success. So that way, if you just do that bare minimum that day, and I know it's harder because you want to like crush it and feel exhausted, but like there has to be a meet in the middle. Right? So if you plan what could be that bare minimum, and then it won't feel like such a failure or like a loss of like, I'm just going to give up and do nothing. Mm-hmm. And when I say nothing, I don't mean you do nothing and sit on the couch all day. I just mean you do nothing in terms of that goal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then do you think New Year's resolutions as a concept are like, do they even work then?
I mean, I think if it works for you, everyone's different, right? So if a New Year's resolution works for you, great. If you've had success with it in the past, That's great. For me personally, like just the term of it, it's very like a one and done almost. It's like, this is what I'm going to focus on, then I'm going to hit this goal, and then I'm just going to go back to everything I've done in the past, and then I'm just going to reverse the whole thing anyway. So I like to think of like the lifestyle change. What is it I really want to create this year? What would I love to achieve, whether that's at work, personally, whatever it is you want in your life this year? How do you make it a lifestyle change? How do you incorporate it into who you are every single day?
Yeah.
So that kind of feeds really great into our next question. So how do you think leaders or entrepreneurs can reframe their goals to be more sustainable? So let's say we are setting New Year's goals. Let's call them goals. How can we reframe them to help with the resiliency we need to get there?
I think it's about the pre-planning of it, right? So it's like really starting to build the habits for that success. So really thinking about, like, everyone always asks, what is it I want to achieve this year? That's great. Who do I need to become to actually achieve that? What are the habits that I need to create to make this successful, sustainable, to be consistent with? So it's nice to say this is what I want to achieve, and that's usually the big question everyone starts with. But then you really need to focus on what are the habits I need to like ingrain in me? How do I set my environment up for success? Right? How do I make sure that the environment that I'm in and the people that I'm surrounding myself with will allow me to move successfully towards this? So it's not easy. Everyone wants an easy answer, right? Like, I'm just going to do the thing and it's just going to happen. Like, no, you have to put the work into it. You have to put the time into it. You have to plan for it to have the success.
No, yeah, that's fair. And you're right. I think, like, a lot of people think about, like, New Year's resolution and they just jump, like, both feet in.
Yeah. And I think we underestimate, like, how much our current beliefs, our environments, our habits, like, it pulls us back to our baseline. So if we're not really planning for that growth or that change, we're just going to constantly get pulled back into what we know and what's easy.
So what do you think the process should be for, like, restarting that, right? Like, say it's January 14th and you've kind of fallen off the wagon. Yeah, Blue Monday's around the corner and you've kind of fallen off the wagon. What is, like, a way, not, like, because you can have some guilt around that, of course. What's, like, some ways that they can reinstate that?
I think, like, the first thing is, and it's probably the hardest thing of all, is to let go of the guilt, right? Let go of that guilt, let go of that shame. I think people think, if I didn't do it, I'm a failure, right? It always goes to, like, I failed, I'm done, I suck. And instead of looking at it as failure, really looking at it as, like, data collection. Like, we're now just collecting information and data on, is this still a goal that I even want to achieve? Like, sometimes it's like, let's look at what it is you're trying to work towards, and is it still aligned with what you want, who you are? Get data on what didn't work out, like what happened, what got in my way from showing up, what were the obstacles, how can I plan better, how can I set my environment up better to make sure that I'm actually following through. So I think if we can let go of all of the guilt, all of the shame, and really look at it as like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to coach myself and ask myself these questions, then I can collect this data and all this information, and then I can create a plan and start again. And then always, like, come back to, like, the most smallest thing. Like, what's one small thing I can do today that will really align with that goal? Like, just keep it small. We get so overwhelmed with all these, like, huge goals, big ideas, big dreams. So I failed. We're going to let go of the shame. We're going to collect the data and then just ask, like, what's one thing I can do in this moment right now that just aligns with the goal?
Yeah. You writing this down?
All right. Come on, guys.
I'm like,
no one's going to have Blue Monday this year.
Yeah, no Blue Monday.
No Blue Monday. What I love about that is I think, we all talked in the beginning about how we had to build confidence. And I think when you think of it as data and figure out what got in the way, or even just come up with the lowest common denominator like you talked about, for me, it sounds like you're building confidence in yourself. I struggle with believing that I'm going to do the thing I say I'm going to do sometimes. So I think, if you fail, if you don't make it, like, I love the idea of thinking about it as like, okay, this is just data. I'm going to figure out, like, I'm going to create a system. We all know how much I love systems. I'm going to create a better system and I'm going to test it out. I love that. That might be very helpful for me.
And if you keep looking at it as failure, just think of it as like, okay, fail fast, fail hard, get the data, move on.
Yeah. Move on.
So do you coach people then in self-trust after they've kind of broken that down with themselves, right? Like, because, you can kind of lose trust in yourself when you're saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You make it public You might even post it on Instagram, and then you fall off the wagon.
Yeah. That's exactly how you break trust with yourself, right? Every time you say, I'm going to do this thing, I don't do it. Whether it's, I'm going to start this health journey, I'm going to go move my body, I'm going to show up really present with my team today, I'm going to have this hard conversation. Whatever it is you say you're going to do, and every time you don't do it, it's just like this little piece of trust is broken more and more and more. And it's happened to so many of us in our lives, right? And the simplest way to build that trust really is through action. We can't just say, I just trust myself again. Break it, like going back again to that small action. What's one small thing I can commit to doing today? So maybe your goal is to move your body 30 minutes every day. Well, can I just do 5 minutes today, right? I'm going to commit to 5 minutes, or I'm going to commit to, one tough conversation instead of 5 tough conversations in one day. So whatever like the big thing is that you keep breaking with yourself, how do you make that really granular? Do that. And then slowly you start building that trust, right? That trust is going to build through the action that you're taking that's aligned with who you are, your values, what you say you're going to do.
Can I share something that came up when we were talking about this very thing that I do, which is I needed to build some self-trust. Sometimes through coaching with Jess, we were having a conversation about what's easier. And for me, now I just think what's harder, doing the thing or beating myself up about it all day and negotiating all day and being pissy at myself for not doing the thing I said I was going to do. And sometimes I can get myself to do the hard thing because really all of the, and granted, you're not supposed to do all the beating yourself up and all of that, but I'm not there yet. So I still do it. So for me, sometimes I'm a work in progress. Doing the thing is easier than listening to the negative self-talk that I'm struggling with for the entire rest of the frickin' day because I just didn't get up and do the stupid thing.
Yeah. There's this video out there, and I don't know who the creator is, but the guy in it, he says, you can do hard things and live an easy life, or you can do easy things and live a hard life. And every time I started to get in this negotiation with myself of, I don't want to get up and do this thing, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I always think of that. Well, I could do the hard thing now and then the rest of my day will be easier. Or I can do the easy thing now, I can hit snooze, I can go back to bed, and then the rest of my day is harder because now I'm angry at myself, I'm mad at myself, I'm probably have some guilt, some shame, that negative self-talk. And think about a health perspective, right? It's easy to not take care of our health. It's easy for us to lay in bed or watch TV and not go move our bodies or not eat in a certain way or not, do things for our mental health. It's easier to do that, but in the long run, think of the impacts that's going to have and create a harder life.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it almost is we talked in episode, I think 3 about that Eat the Frog book. Yeah. And that's very much what it kind of sounds like, right? Is wake up and do the hard thing first so the rest of your day can be a slice of cake.
Yeah.
The funny thing is how differently we show up in different areas of our life, isn't it?
Yeah.
For example, eating frogs is I can do that at work all day long. I could do it, anything work related. I can do any hours, any time of day, no problem. And then trying to learn how to apply that skill to different areas of my life has been a journey that Jess is helping me with, actually. But it's been very interesting to realize how shitty I am at that particular skill in basically every other area of my life up until now.
Up until now.
But okay, so we've kind of talked about just a little bit of heavy stuff, how to push past it, and Jess has given us some really good tools on how to kind of get outside your head and restart and, make it bite-sized instead of, eating the whole cake at once. But let's talk about some failed resolutions we've had, because I'm sure I have a couple, but I'm sure we all have them,
I can start if you want.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I almost made this same resolution recently. So I used to play the piano quite a bit when I was younger, and I loved it. And we have a piano at our house, and every now and again I go and try to play something, and it's horrible because I can't read music anymore. I can't do any of the things, and I find that frustrating. So every year about this time, I say, this is the year I'm going to take piano lessons with no thought of if I actually have time, if I would practice or anything. I'm just this is the year I'm going to learn how to play piano. And I think probably it's been the better part of a decade where I've been saying, this is the year that I'm going to take piano lessons again. And so I was thinking about that the other day because I was sitting there looking at my piano, and I was like, you know what? This is the year I'm not going to make a stupid resolution about learning to play piano because there's no way in hell that I'm going to fit it in this year. But that's okay. It's going to happen someday, but I'm not going to set myself up for failure.
Today's not the day.
Today is not the day.
So are you selling the piano? Or
No.
okay.
Someday I might choose to actually do the
Okay.
resolution.
But it won't be a resolution. It'll just be you doing it
Yeah,
as a hobby.
when I retire.
Sure. Okay, great. I have lots. Remember, I'll start with this one because like every female can probably relate to this. But remember, like when like every year there's always some weight loss thing that comes up, right?
Yeah.
Remember when it was like eat a grapefruit a day?
Oh, yeah, like
Yeah,
the
I
military
remember that one.
diet. Like a
Yeah.
grapefruit
Oh
and
yeah,
toast
is that what
and
it
an egg or
was?
something?
Yeah, grapefruit toast and an egg. So that was a failed one for me.
Yeah.
I made it one day. I think grapefruits are so gross.
I love grapefruit.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's so
no, they taste like vomit. It's
I only like them with sugar on it, which I feel like defeats the purpose of eating the grapefruit, right?
That's how I ate it as a kid, but now I love it just like on its own. But I don't like grapefruit juice. I just like to eat.
the grapefruit.
Yeah, like I would never pour a glass of grapefruit juice. That's gross.
Maybe with
I wouldn't
vodka.
either unless there was champagne.
A Paloma.
Nah, that's true.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I do. I guess I do drink it with Paloma.
Or tequila, yeah.
There we go. But then another one was mine. It was funny because we're talking about this now, but I was looking for a notebook earlier this week, and I was in like my downstairs where I don't even keep notebooks. But then I seen this notebook and I pulled it out, and it was a planner from 2 years ago where I was planning and writing like my day out. And it was like January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, and then it was gone.
You didn't even make it to day 14.
No, I didn't even. So using a daily planner was another failed one. Do you have any other failed ones before I keep going with this list?
I love that you have so many lists today.
Yeah.
You're so
I came prepared.
You're really impressing me.
I
I'm
know.
going to have to up my game.
Season 2 is going to be
It's
a
a
good
whole
one.
new ball game.
Yeah.
I better pick it up or she's going to find a new co-host.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be Jess.
Auditions.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm here.
Oh, God.
Also, I read that book, Atomic Habits. I feel like I did mention it on every episode, where they talk about like putting fruit on your desk. Failed. It rotted, and then I didn't refill it.
So you would eat it?
Yeah.
Is that the point?
Yeah.
Why
So-
would you need fruit on your desk? I get it now.
Like, so you don't have to like get up. It's like there, a whole thing. Drinking water, stretching, working out, and like doing the whole thing, like buying a 2-year gym membership and jumping both feet in to realize you work out for like a month and then let it eat at your bank account for 2 years.
You are what gyms love.
Yeah, I know for sure. I'm like yeah. So those are some of the failed resolutions that I've definitely had. So if you are relating to this, we are your people.
Do you have any? that you-
Yeah, I mean, I think all mine related to like health. So I don't know the last time. Actually, I do know the last time I had a resolution. It was 2017. It was the year I got married, and it was January 1st. And I was like, I don't know. I had this thought in my head: if I don't eat gluten, I'm going to become like really skinny and look really good in my wedding dress. And I did it. It lasted because I was really motivated to look good in my dress. And then as soon as I got married, it was just like, why would I deprive myself? I love carbs. I love gluten. I love donuts. They're like my favorite food group. So yeah, it was just a fail. But every resolution I ever had, and that was the last one I ever set, because then I was like, this is stupid. This isn't actually helping me change in my life. And that's kind of what I learned from it, was the piece of I'm setting these goals or resolutions.
Right.
I'll follow through for a bit. Sometimes I'll even hit the goal like I did when I got married. And then they're not who I am. Like there's no system in place for that consistency afterwards, right? It didn't align with my values, it didn't align with who I was. So that's why it didn't work. But every other resolution I ever set was usually around like weight loss or a health thing. And it was never like aligned with what I wanted in life. So they never worked out.
No, that's fair. I think obviously these resolutions, most of them take self-discipline, right? So what is one myth about self-discipline that drives you nuts?
This is a good question. I have a couple thoughts on this. So I hate, which I have to put context to this. So I hate the discipline mentality of like, just do it. Like I always think like bro mindset, get up, go, do the thing.
Okay.
Which is funny because probably like a year, maybe 2 years ago, I probably said something like that on Instagram in a video of mine where I was like, just get up, do the thing.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So so the context of both of you know, obviously my husband passed away a year and a bit ago. And I have like these two mindsets. Like I think of like pre-death Trev, like I was like thought a very different way.
Yeah.
And then I've lived some life and now I like think differently. So for me, discipline now, like I can't stand like just get up and do it. Because not everyone can just get up and do it. Like people are living lives,
Yeah.
people are going through experiences that like that mentality is not very like conducive to what they're going through. So I think that's probably now what I hate is like just get up and do it because it attaches shame, because I know I was that person before and now I'm like, if I don't just get up and do it, like I'll have the guilt, I'll have the shame, and it's like so much work to go through that, right? So now I think discipline really needs to come with grace, but it needs to come with the structure. Like if you can put everything in place that you need to create consistency for yourself, then the discipline even like becomes easier almost.
Right.
Can you give us an example? I struggle with grace versus discipline because I don't think I understand how grace is supposed to work, and I don't feel comfortable giving it to myself on a regular and consistent basis. We even did a podcast on like grace versus grit and like how to know. So like from your perspective, what does good grace look like versus an excuse? Like how do you tell the difference?
So for me, like, okay, I'm in bed, my husband died, and I'm thinking I need to get up and go to the gym. Like just go to the gym. And I didn't want to go to the gym. I wanted to lie in bed. I wanted to cry. Like I was just going through an experience. So for me, the grace was it's okay that you don't go to the gym today. It's okay that like you might not do your routine you've always done for years. You're allowed to cry. I think an excuse is like, I have a busy day, right? I didn't sleep well. I maybe didn't eat well the night before to get up and do the thing. Like, I think there's so many excuses that come in, and then people will use grace as an excuse. Like, I do think there is, and I hate like that saying that like bro mentality, but I think there is something in, like, you had a bad sleep. Okay, get up and do it anyway. Like, you don't need grace for that.
Right.
Did you have a bad sleep because you're going through a really hard time of life? Okay, that's a little bit different. But if you just had a bad sleep because you chose to, I don't know, stay up late, watch football, drink wine. Guilty.
She's not talking about me.
I'm talking about myself. It's fine. But that's where there has to be like your own, that's where you kind of have to have the discipline of like, okay, I made those choices. Now I have a choice. I can make a better choice today. So I can choose to lay in bed and hit snooze and not do the thing that I said I was going to do because of the choices I made the night before or whatever the, thing is, or I can just get up and do it. And that's where I think discipline's important. Like that, the grace part there is kind of an excuse, and it's, well, you did this to yourself. I think if you're going through a hard season of life, whether that is through a death, a divorce, going through something really big at work, a big change, whatever that looks like, maybe your kids left the house, you can give yourself grace for that. You don't, you're allowed days off. Mm-hmm. I don't know, did that even answer your question?
You're allowed days off. It did.
I do say I was looking at you when I said that.
Yeah.
You're allowed to take time off work.
This seems like too focused over here. Like, can we just focus over there for a bit?
So then do you think that just get up and do it is like the toxic productivity verbiage? Like,
yeah, I think like you go on Instagram or any social media and you see these people, these influencers that are like, get up, do it, do this 5 a.m. or 4 a.m., whatever workout they're doing, which the productivity part, that's probably my biggest pet peeve. And I know I was that person because I am that person. I like to get up early.
You were that person. Yeah.
I like to get up early because that's when I feel like the most, I can accomplish the most. I'm a morning person. I'm not a night person. So for me, that's what works. Right. But like all these people hearing, I have to do these things at this time. Like I know a lot of people in my life who are very successful that do all these things later in the day or in the night. Like if it's a health thing and they go to the gym at night. Like for me, that's crazy because I'm like, I'm just so tired. I would never go to the gym at night.
Yeah.
But for them, they're the total opposite. So I think like the toxic part is believing what people on the internet are telling you that really... You have to know what's right for you. You have to learn, like, eat the frog. Not everyone's going to eat the frog in the morning because maybe they're better productive between, like, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, it's knowing who you are, what works for you, and, like, how do you almost, like, manipulate your life around that?
Okay. So then Oh my God, I feel like we've taken in such like a lot of information today. But let's talk about like maybe a coach's toolkit or something that you can give us like to kind of walk away from this, because this is going to be coming out in January. Like, people are going to have these failed resolutions. They are going to be feeling that shame and things like that. So let's talk about maybe like some frameworks or journal prompts that they can kind of take away.
Sure, yeah. I think first, ditch the term resolutions if it doesn't work for you, right? If it works for you, great. I think what's more important is really thinking like, how do you want 2026? That's crazy, 2026.
Oh, I know.
I just say that's crazy. Like, how do you want to experience it? Like, what would you like to get from it? What do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to spend more time? Like really clear on what do you want that year to kind of look like? Mm-hmm. And then go and create that structure. So that support. So what are the habits that I might need to change or create to make this more feasible, to make it lasting, to make it a lifestyle change? How do I set my environment up for success? So, and like when I say that, like I think when I started my workout journey, when I like years ago, like to start working out in the morning, how I set myself up, my environment was I'd put my workout clothes like on my toilet seat every night, like before I went to bed.
Because you couldn't go pee without putting your clothes.
Well, because every morning the first thing I do is get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So my clothes would be there, so I would see it. It's like that boom in your face, right? So set your environment up for success, however that looks for whatever your goal is. But be really clear. What is it you would love to achieve? What do you want to experience? Create the system so that follow through becomes easier. Have an idea, like tell yourself, what is the bare minimum I need to do? Like that would feel like success today. So, because sometimes you'll hit those bare minimums and it won't feel, you get into that like failure mentality. So that would be kind of just one thing I'd say about that. And then what was the other thing? Some journal prompts? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good journal prompt. Reflection. I think a big part of achieving anything is a reflecting piece, right? So getting that information. So whether you do it like every night in the evening or you do it on a Sunday or at the end of the week, whatever works for you, is reflecting what really went well. Like, and I love to start with the good, because we were so like brainwashed, I'm going to say, to always look for what's going wrong, what's bad. So, well, what did go well? Whether it was today, this week, this month, what went well? And then where did I feel resistance? That's a good question. Like, where did I feel resistance in my day, in the week, in the month? Where, what can I do better? What were the obstacles that got in my way? And how can I plan better for those obstacles next time? So we're just collecting that information to create a plan. So we're always kind of rewiring the system that we're creating for ourselves to set us up for success.
I love that. So how do you feel like the listeners or watchers or wherever you're tuning in from can really shift from that like motivation mode with these New Year's resolutions or goals to like a consistency mode?
I think use the motivation to be really clear on what you want. Like, take that motivation. That's great. Like, write everything down. What would you love? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish? Like, use that motivation to get super crystal clear on what's the type of life and the business you want to be living and creating. And then start, like, right away while you're in that motivation, start writing the plan. What is the plan? How are you going to set yourself up? I think that part's really important. And then don't wait. Like, if you're listening, well, I know this is coming out in January, but for next year, if it's like November and December and you're re-listening to this because you want the tips, start today. Like, don't wait till January 1. Like, prove to yourself, I can start creating these. Like, habits take a while to build and create, right? And if we want sustainable change and growth, it's through our habits. It's through our identity. It's through who we are. So why wait until January 1 to do that? Like, if you know what you want, start today. And start small. Don't overwhelm yourself.
Yeah, I love that. I think, you know, if you are re-listening to this at any time of the year, so for me, my new year is May 1st, so I'm like halfway through the year, and I always find December challenging because I think a lot of us think it's like, oh, it's such a write-off, but I was thinking the other day, you know, like there are small ways we can be the person we want to be in everything we do at any time, right?
Yeah. Can you give us an example?
I can. Let's preface this by saying it's December right now and I have a lot of events to go to. So I was thinking about how I drank every day this week. And I was thinking about how I feel very derailed in December, but I'm also trying to push towards the end of the year because there's a bunch of stuff I want to make sure that I've accomplished by December 31st because January is crazy for me. So I want to go into January with a sense of confidence, achievement. You know, I want to feel like I've accomplished these habits. Anyway, so I was all in my head about how, fuck December, like, it's so hard, it's so stupid, like, it makes everything go off the rails, blah, blah, blah. And then I was thinking, well, like, I am going to all these events, but maybe I could just say when I go into the event, like, how would the future version of me behave here? Like, would I have 5 drinks and then hit the dance floor tonight at my Christmas party, knowing that I have a shit ton of stuff to do tomorrow? Or would I instead maybe have the dinner, enjoy the company, still do the dancing, maybe have 3 drinks or no drinks? Or, like, I think, why am I operating under this assumption that I have to be derailed? If I want my changes to be lasting, then I have to think about, like, if I'm the person that I want to become, like, how would they behave? Yeah. And it doesn't have to mean, like, I can't go to any of these events I want to go to and need to go to. It just means I have to start thinking differently about what that means and feeling more in control of how I behave.
Yeah. And what you said, like, the future you is so powerful. Like, you have this vision of this future version of you, right? And it's how would that future version of me show up? And now you have an answer, and that's your choice. Now I'm going to start to show up as that person because you're growing into that person, or you want to grow into that person. Well, you prove it through action.
You know what
That's
sucks?
Powerful.
Is the Christmas party is actually tonight, and I was going to have 5 drinks and feel shitty tomorrow and be on the dance floor, and now I'm all like, frick, now I'm all motivated to be the future me.
Now you just put it out there for accountability.
We're proud of you.
We are proud. We'll check in on you tomorrow to see how that went.
Great. Fantastic. So excited for that.
Well, I mean, I feel like that was a great ender of Jen coming to realization in front of her executive coach about who her future self will be. But Jen, this is your actual favorite time of the episode where you give us a breakdown.
Yeah. So I think if I was going to highlight reel this episode into 3 main points, I would say start now. Resolutions and timing and the language around failure really needs to change. Be curious, collect data. I think the second point from today is really about knowing why and understanding that you need to be creating a lifestyle, not hitting some number just for the sake of hitting some number. And then for me, I think the third one is just understanding the difference between an excuse and grace. So if you're going through a ton of stuff, do show yourself some grace. If you had 5 glasses of wine at the Christmas party, get up and do the thing.
Get up and do the thing.
That's great. So, Jessica, where can people find you, connect with you, learn more about you, follow you?
Yeah, I mean, Instagram's probably where I hang out the most. Okay. So, what is my Instagram handle? Miss Jessica Derksen. You can follow me there, hang out with me there, and my website, habitualprofessionaldevelopment.com.
You guys
come check it out.
Heard it here first. Follow her. She's great. And with that,
there's another episode of Ambition After Hours. If you have questions or you have successes you want to share on how you're becoming the best version of you, please share them with us on our website, and we'll share them on the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. It's kind of where we hang out. We're also on YouTube and LinkedIn and all the Spotify and Apple and all that fancy stuff. So that's where you can find us and, come hang out with us. Share your wins and your losses, and we can share those with everybody anonymously if you want, or we can share you by name. We're here to shout you out and support you. So with that said, that is another episode of Ambition After Hours. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Later, Gator.